Good morning, everybody. So I hope everybody's having a good start to their Tuesday. If it's Tuesday where you're at, I figured I needed to get ready, and I haven't done a live get ready with me in a long time. So I figured I would do one and kind of leave it open for a Q&A while I got ready. That way, if anybody has any questions, whether it be about me or anything about my channel or anything like that, now would be a good time to do that since I'm just going to be getting ready. If you guys care to know what products I'm using, just let me know. Otherwise, I figured I'd just hop on here while I got ready today. Got a couple of videos I'm hoping to film and some other stuff I've got to do. So it's going to be a pretty busy day for me. Hey, Frank. Hey, Pippi. No, there is no topic for the Q&A. Any questions you have, feel free to drop them below or in the chat. I have great skin. Thank you. I think it's just a genetic. I got lucky with genes. When I was younger, I did in high school. I went through a small phase where I had like breakouts, but I never was lucky enough to never really struggle with like heavy acne. I would get just like hormonal breakouts around my chin, and occasionally I still do. I try my best to use skincare, but I'm not going to say that I always do because I definitely don't always remember to. I just got out of the shower, so my hair is still wet. For moisturizer today, I went in with this little sample size of the Drunk Elephant, the Proteini Peptide Cream. I've had this in the full size before. It is a really good moisturizer. It's just really expensive. I find the Milk Makeup one, the one that I typically use is in a green container, but I've used it all, so I kind of need to get a refill of that whenever I have a chance. And I'm going in with some primer, and I typically use either the Hydro Grip from Milk or the Tatcha. Today I'm using the Tatcha. It's a little bit more lightweight. The Milk Hydro Grip really does make your makeup last all day. So if I'm going to be out in the sun or be doing anything where I may sweat or anything like that, I will typically use that moisturizer. But more often than not, I use the Tatcha one. I feel like it's a good base. Hey, Dina, how are you? I need to DM you today. I'm glad you popped in. That reminded me. So what I do when I do my makeup is I always prime and prep my face, and then I go in and prime my lids and kind of do my eye makeup before I do my base makeup. I do my base makeup kind of the last step of my makeup process. Hey, Lori, how are you? I hope everybody's having a good day. So I have lately been using concealer as my base for my eyeshadow. And the concealer that I typically use is this NARS in Light 2. I find that it's not too thick, that it doesn't really cake up on my lid. If I use too much, it will, but I just dap my brush in and then blend it all out, spread it out as much as I can. I got my nose pierced when I was a junior in high school. I think I was 16 when I got it pierced. I've definitely gone through phases in my life where I won't have a nose ring in. I mean, you guys have probably seen that on my channel. There will be months, sometimes weeks, I go without having my nose ring in. For me, only a few of the piercings I have ever gotten have totally healed. Most of my piercings, I can go a long time without having jewelry in it and it not close up. And I think it's just because the piercing has totally healed. I got my belly button pierced when I was 18, and I haven't had a ring in that for like 3 years now, and occasionally I'll get curious to know if it's closed up, and I'll stick a ring in that I have, and it's still open. I checked not too long ago. Some of the piercings that I've had that have closed, I had my cartilage pierced in high school. That did close. And then I've had my second holes pierced before, and those closed. But I have like my actual ears pierced. I never wear earrings because they irritate my ears. Even if it's real gold or real silver, sterling silver, I've tried it all. I just don't wear earrings enough, and it just bothers me. So I don't wear any unless it's like a special occasion. And it's like something where you need to dress up, then I will. But typically I don't wear earrings. People probably don't even know that my ears are pierced because I don't ever wear earrings in them. So once I have it laid down, I'll go in with some translucent powder. And today I have this little jar of Laura Mercier that I will use to set my eyelids. You didn't do anything wrong, Dina. I want to talk with you about scheduling, when we can schedule to both have that open discussion about what it's like to have be a parent of children on the spectrum. So I've been meaning to reach out to you to figure that out with you, but I keep forgetting and getting distracted. So I'm glad you were here. That reminded me. That's going to be a really good topic, Dina. I think a lot of people shy away from talking about how substances kind of affect people who have mental health, and vice versa. If you already have mental health and you may start self-medicating and things like that, how the rabbit hole goes down. First question, if it's too personal, I won't answer it. You don't have to feel weird about any question. And I'm pretty much an open book when it comes to just about anything. There's very little that I won't talk about. I'm pretty sure I did have counseling when I was adopted, but I honestly can't remember. The state when I was adopted, the state pretty much dropped me off and left me. Luckily, it was a good family, but unfortunately, back 30 years ago, 20 years ago, there was not procedure and things in place to follow up on kids. And if there was, I was a child that did not have any follow-up. The process to me being adopted was also not what it is and what I know it to be now in the state of Florida. Typically, adoption is a long process. It's not just like the kid is dropped off and left. Typically, it's a slow introduction to make sure that it's a good fit. There aren't going to be if there are any concerns, that they're noted early on, and processes can be put into place to work with the family and with the child. It's usually a slow integrated process if it's from the state, but that did not happen in my case. I literally was just dropped off. Thank you so much, Dina. You're so sweet. Any tattoos? My daughter turns 18 in September and is already wanting her first tattoo. I do have tattoos. I have 4, one of which is not visible to anybody. And I was pretty much pressured into it when I was 18, believe it or not. But no one really knows about that tattoo. And then I have 3 others. I have one on the back of my shoulder here, which is a flower. I don't think it's any actual flower because I just grew it myself and I'm not an artist. But it's just of a flower, and in the petals it has the date I was officially adopted, and above it it says miracles happen. And then my other two are I have one on each side of my hips. They're just little Chinese symbols. One is beauty and one is strength. I got those in my early 20s when I was kind of going through a little bit of a hard time, and it was to represent that I am strong and beautiful through my past, whatever I'm currently facing, and hopefully whatever I face in the future. Those are the only tattoos I have currently. I am always wanting to get more. I'm just very particular about tattoos. I think they're gorgeous, and I'm kind of somebody, and I don't shame anybody who gets tattoos just because they're pretty, but I'm the kind of person who wants to get tattoos that have some kind of meaning behind them. So when we lost our first dog, my husband and I were both going to get a tattoo related to losing him because he was our first dog together. He was my dog. He meant a lot to both of us. And we lost him 3 years ago now. And yeah, 3 years ago. And we still haven't gotten tattoos. I forever changed my mind about what I want to get for him, and now since that has passed, I've kind of gone along the thought process of I want to be able, if I do that, I want to be able to have it to where I can add on to it for each dog. That's the sad reality of owning pets is, you know, unfortunately you do tend to outlive them. I recently, last July, lost our other older dog very unexpectedly. Both of the dogs that we have lost, they were relatively young and they were not expected. So some of you guys may remember that time. I was on YouTube. I did do a live stream and talked about it, but it was a really rough time. Luckily, the two that we currently have are very healthy, very happy, seeming to do very well, but we are overly cautious pet parents. So, hey AR, thank you so much. You guys don't have to super chat me. It means a lot though. Yeah, Dina's channel is her name. And I believe in the live chat, I don't know how it works when you're in a live chat. I think when you're in a live chat, or maybe when it comes back for replay, you can click on people's names and go to their YouTube channels. Hey Jakes, good to see you. I understand if you guys have other stuff going on. So today I'm using a foundation I haven't used in a while. A lot of that is, it's not really showing up on camera too much, but it's a little bit, it's like half a shade too dark. It's this Catrice HD Liquid Coverage Foundation. It's mattifying. I prefer a mattifying foundation. I think I purchased this off a recommendation from Soph Does Life or Taylor Wynn, one of them. I think I got this from Taylor Wynn's recommendation. Your kid wants one because she can't. I mean, you know, I would say that if she wants one, you know, going against it probably isn't going to help at all. I know that that's hard. My parents were totally against any kind of tattoos until I got the tattoo I did, and I asked them and I got their approval and everything. If I remember correctly, I got it around my birthday, and my mom ended up giving me the money to pay for it, and it ended up being like my birthday gift. But my parents were very much against tattoos for a very, very long time. So I don't think I'm going to do eyeshadow today. I think I'll probably just do some eyeliner. But I'm going to set my foundation before I try to do that. And I have been using the Fenty Beauty Pressed foundation. I've been using this as a finishing powder / setting powder. It does have a little bit of pigment to it, but it does not have really enough to like add any color. It really just does a really good job at setting and blurring. Hey, Sharon. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hey, Miss Cassandra. Yeah, losing a pet is extremely taxing. And I know some people, it really just depends on your perception of pets and what they mean to you. Some people have pets because they use them in the working sense. So not always, but sometimes people who have animals and it's more in the working sense than like them being a member of the family. I think their perception is a little bit different when a pet is lost than someone who gets pets because they love pets and they're part of their family. Our dogs are like our kids. So we don't get to do a lot because I'm overly protective of our dogs. When we're not here, there for a little while, we went without crating our dogs for like a month, and then they started to get into things. So they're typically crated when we're not here. So for us to have anybody to watch our dogs, I'm really specific about someone who, yeah, they can have a job and stuff, but they need to be willing to like stay at our house and like sleep at our house overnight, because if our dogs are going to be in their crate while people aren't here for like an 8-hour work day, I don't want them in their crate, 12 plus hours, right? You'd love to hear my take on self-medication with mental health. I don't really believe in self-medicating. It's not healthy to self-medicate. I understand why people self-medicate, and I don't judge or damn anybody for doing that. But if you're self-medicating, I think you need to be consulting with a doctor to some degree about it. I know a lot of people self-medicate with medical marijuana, but at that it's medical, so they're getting some kind of prescription or a release of authorization from a professional. So as far as self-medicating with other things, I don't think it's healthy. I don't think it's safe. And I think that's kind of how sometimes people end up in addiction and unintentionally. I didn't anticipate this many people to be here, so I'm kind of getting lost in the comments. So I'm trying to go back and make sure I read everybody's. Yeah, our dogs are cremated. We're very much, I think I've talked about this before. This may make me seem a little bit kooky, but we have a shelf on one of our bookcases that have both of our past pets and their picture and their last toy that they got. And if the vet sent anything or the cremation center sent us anything with their ashes, it's kind of up there. Their bowls that they used are up there, as well as their collars. Again, it might make me seem a little bit weird, but it's peace of mind for us to know that they're still with us. So the pandemic would be hard without your dog. Yeah, I couldn't imagine, especially, hey Jean, especially because my husband being military, he's deployed quite a bit. He goes on TDYs often. So I don't know if I would ever be able to like actually live by myself. I would have to have a pet. I've always had a pet. And I've had other pets growing up. It was more so my brother who wanted other animals other than dogs. But I grew up with like guinea pigs, hamsters, dogs, cats. I worked in a pet store, so I worked around birds a lot, and I worked around a lot of different kinds of animals like chinchillas, reptiles, even tarantulas. Even though I'm not a fan of spiders, I hated having to go into their terrariums. But yeah, I'm getting off on a tangent. Yeah, losing a pet is really hard. It really is. Yeah, I agree, Frank. Well, I don't, most of the stuff that we got, I think our, my sister-in-law and her partner, her wife, got us a tile for when we lost our first dog. Hey, Kino, how are you? I just know that that's not like a super popular. Some people think it's a little bit weird to keep your pets and to keep ashes. I don't. I'm gonna have to concentrate for just a second. My eyeliner takes a lot of concentration for me. And usually I don't use a felt tip to do this kind of eyeliner. I usually use my pot. When I went through my makeup like a month and a half ago, I kept some of these because I figured I could use them and I haven't. So I pulled them out to use today. How would you approach your dad about his drinking issue? It's steadily getting worse. I mean, that's a hard conversation to have. It depends. I would say it depends on your relationship with your dad. If you guys are really relatively close and you guys can typically talk to each other about anything and everything, I would just have an honest conversation with him, but be ready for him to be mad at you. Be ready for him to be in denial because it's likely to happen if he doesn't see it as an issue yet. And after you start that conversation with him, it kind of will set the precedent for how you move forward with his drinking and you having a grandchild of his. I'm never really for like holding your children against someone who's in addiction, but you do have to draw healthy and safe boundaries. And if you know he's going to be intoxicated, protect your child. You know, that's kind of where I think is the safest way to go. But you know your dad better than anyone else, so you will know how to kind of start that conversation. It's going to be a hard one to have, especially if he doesn't see his drinking as a problem. You may have to point out his behaviors to him to maybe start for him to start realizing it. All right, my eyeliner like never matches, but it's as close as it's gonna get. I'm sorry to hear that, Barrett. I'm never sure if I pronounce your username correctly. I hope you guys can get some answers. It's always hard. Stuff like that is always extremely difficult, especially when it's like unknown. It's hard trying to train a pup. Yeah, puppies they really are like having toddlers because it takes a lot of repetition, a lot of patience. anytime we have ever gotten a puppy, I have always tried my best to get some time off in the first couple of weeks to make sure potty training goes smoothly, especially with certain breeds. If you get a breed of dog that is extremely stubborn, they will use things against you. Dogs are really smart. Like Paisley, my husky, part of the reason that they're not crated anymore is because most of you guys know I work from home now. So I'm home a lot. And when I have had to leave for a few hours here and there, she was doing really well. They weren't needing to be in their crate. But after about a month and me leaving every now and then to get errands and stuff like that done, she was taking it out on me for not being here. And she started to do really random stuff. Like, it wasn't even like they were destroying anything, but they were like pulling dishes that maybe were in the sink out into the living room. She's done it before when we've tried to leave them uncrated. She just does things to let me know that I'm mad at her, or that she's mad at me, rather. And I think Whiskey partakes just because she's doing it, he does it. Have a good day, Miss Cassandra. Thanks for stopping in. You're so stubborn. I think it really just depends. There's some breeds that are known to be more stubborn than others. Yeah, clicker training with puppies does do well, as long as you can keep up with it. I I don't know. I let my dogs really do a lot of whatever they want. They know their rules and they know their boundaries. Do they cross them? Absolutely, because they want to test us. Bye, Frank. I hope you have a good day. You're putting your makeup on also. You know, it's that I didn't put any makeup on yesterday. There's a lot of days where I actually don't put on makeup. Yeah, Huskies are, there's definitely something else. People always say that they want Huskies. I'm like, just please do your research. Just do your research before you get one. And that kind of goes for any and every breed. Just make sure that you know what you are potentially getting and what behaviors you may potentially be dealing with. So I'm going to use, since this foundation is just a little bit darker, I'm going to use my Marc Jacobs bronzer. I haven't used this in a long time, and a lot of that is because it's one shade, and sometimes it comes off a little orange if I'm not careful. So I'm just going in lightly with where I typically bronze. Oh, goodness. Hey, Beauty Demon. Oh, you're on your lunch break? Had good timing then, huh? That's awesome, Emmy. For me, when it comes to makeup, I'm either gonna do like a basic look like this, or I'm gonna go in and do eyeshadow and all of that. Otherwise, I just don't bother. You know? Will I post what I used after? I'll go through the products that I used at the end. I would say I will put it down in the description box, but I know myself and I know I will forget. I also have a video that it's uploading right now, my nail video that some people wanted to see. So that should be available for you guys later today, hopefully this afternoon, as long as there's no issues. With getting it loaded. You typically do lipstick. I know it seems to be kind of like a thing where people who do minimal makeup or are doing a minimal makeup day that they always do lipstick, and I never wear lipstick. It's very rare that I do. If I have a full-on face, I will try to remember when I'm filming or going live to put on lipstick, but most of the time I just put on lip gloss. I have found a few that I like, but there is some product in the majority of lipsticks made that I think I'm allergic to, because if I put on like bullet lipstick, any brand, I am likely to have a pimple on my lip. And it's happened with a few, what are those, liquid lipsticks? It's happened with a few of those. So I really don't like to mess with lipstick a lot, is because I don't know what my lips are allergic to. It could be the wax clogging my pores, you think? Because like I can wear chapsticks all day, different brands of chapsticks, and not have any issue. But whenever I put actual lipstick on it, just, yeah, Amber, you're visible. I didn't see your other comments. I'm sorry. Your eyebrows are like a dishwasher blonde. I'm naturally blonde, and I know my eyebrows are a little bit darker, but like you guys can't see. I'm naturally blonde, and my hair is darkened over time. A lot of that is from me dyeing it and stuff like that. But when my eyebrows were lighter, I would use taupe. And even this one is in taupe, which is a lighter, kind of like, it's a taupey shade. So it does well for lighter hair. I don't know if that'll work for you or not. Oh, Sephora finally has the Natasha Denona Glam Palette. Well, hopefully it'll still be in stock when I have the funds to get it. Because that's one that I wanted to get. And I have the little mini version of it that I use occasionally. I've used it a few times. I really like it. I would like to get the full size and maybe do a review on it or something. I just don't do so much makeup content anymore. So I'll go through a rundown of all the products that I used really quick, because I've started to put stuff away and didn't even realize it. So I used this is just a sample size of the Drunk Elephant Proteiny Peptide Moisturizer. This is a really good moisturizer. It is extremely expensive though. I have had the full size and it does last a while, but I prefer my Milk moisturizer. I just don't have any of it right now. Then I went in with the Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas. For prepping under my eyes, I went in with the Becca Under Eye Correcting Concealer. Is that what this is? Under Eye Brightening Corrector. This is magic in a bottle for me. I don't have dark circles, but I have my cheekbones are right here. So it looks like I have dark circles because of the natural shadow that is casted. But this, whatever is in this, reflects enough of the light that it doesn't appear dark. So I really love this since I've gotten it. I use the Catrice HD Liquid Full Coverage Foundation. Where did I put it? Right here. This, and I got the shade 30, which is Sand Beige. It's like half a shade too dark. And then I set it with the Fenty Beauty. This is their powder foundation. I prefer to use this as a finishing setting powder. Then for bronzing, I went in with my Marc Jacobs Tantastic. And I used a sample blush from Tarte in the shade Party. I've hit Major Pan on this. And then for highlight, I used the Wet n Wild in Blossom Glow. For my eyebrows, I use the NYX Micro Eyebrow Pencil in Taupe. And then for eyeliner, I use the Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner. And I had already had chapstick on, which I prefer the Soft Lips chapstick. That and Burt's Bees are like my go-to lip products, like just for chapstick. And then whenever I wear lip gloss, I have this one just sitting out. This is the Patrick Ta. She's an influencer. I want to get some of Manny MUA's lip glosses. I've heard that they are really nice. I just haven't had the ability to do so lately. I'm also kind of trying to put myself on a very limited what I buy for makeup. And then for mascara, I just use the IT Cosmetics Lash Blowout. I really like this mascara, and sometimes I will pair it with a different one. But today I just went in with 2 coats of that. So that was all of the products I used. And at one point, I set my eyelids after the concealer with Laura Mercier Translucent. So I'm going to go back and see what you guys are saying, because I wasn't reading the chat. In the 80s, your makeup brands was Avon and Fashion Fair. I've heard of Avon. I haven't heard of Fashion Fair. You hate curling your lashes. It's one of my least favorite steps. I used to not curl my lashes, but it does make a difference. I do not get eyebrows. I do not get pimples on my eyebrows. It's only my lips. And it's been a while since I've even tried any lipstick to be able to try and pinpoint it. I don't really like the feeling of lipstick on my lips, any kind of lipstick. That's why I typically don't wear any. I really don't even like the feeling of gloss. I only like chapstick. So the only time I really have lip gloss on is when I'm filming or when I'm going live. Otherwise, I don't like it. You're using Stone Cold Fox from ColourPop today. I actually don't own any ColourPop products. You got your hair cut short on Sunday, donating your hair for Wigs for Kids. That's so nice. My hair wasn't long enough to donate it. My hair's also already grown out from my haircut that I got a few weeks ago. It's still pretty damp. I need to blow dry it. But my hair grows relatively quickly, and so do my nails. Oh no, I just lost where I was at in the chat. The Lunar Beauty glosses are your favorite. I'll have to try and get some at some point. Hey, Kelly. Good to see you. Sometimes you use Vaseline to take off your makeup. I don't know if I knew that you could use Vaseline for that. I mean, it's not surprising because it's kind of got that oily texture. I usually use a balm. I've tried the Green Clean. I didn't like it. I really like the Zero brand, their balms. They're just a little bit pricey, so I haven't repurchased that. Instead, I got one from Target, and I was using that, and I bought it a second time, and it's got a lot of like plastics in it, which aren't good for the environment. Not that I'm always like trying to make sure the products I use are like environmental friendly, but it worked great the first time I had it. It didn't cause any burning or anything on my eyes or anything like that. But the second jar, it burns my eyes, so I'm likely not to buy another one when I'm done, and I'll have to find a different balm. I prefer to use a balm, and then I go in and I wash my face with the Youth to the People spinach and kale face wash, and then I'll sometimes, depending on what my face is doing, I may put on some of The Ordinary. I usually try to use some niacinamide. I have some from the Inky List. I like that one. And then I have some oils and serums from The Ordinary that, just depending on what my skin is doing, I may use. But more often than not, I just wash my face and put moisturizer on. With the pandemic, you wear glasses and a mask, so you're not worrying about makeup. Yeah, I understand that. Bye, Beauty Demon. I'm glad you were able to be here for the time you were. You used the Zero after Vaseline. They have Zero on sale at Ulta. The last time I went to my Ulta, they didn't have it in store, and that's why I ended up buying this other one from Target. It starts with a V. I can't think of the name of the brand off the top of my head. But I went into Ulta trying to find the Zero brand in store, and I couldn't. It could just be the store here. Hey, Just Britt, good to see you. The good thing about makeup is you don't have to be, it just takes practice. It took me a long time to be able to feel comfortable in the makeup looks that I was doing. Use the Biore remover. Trying to listen. It sounds like my garage door is opening. I can't tell. It may be the AC. It's gotten pretty warm where I'm at. Coachella Valley, they have a bunch of Ultas here. Yeah, where I'm at, I have to drive to get to, I mean, there's an Ulta here and there's a Sephora, but they're smaller. So they don't have a lot of product. I have to drive, which I'm not opposed to, like doing a little road trip, but I have so much going on right now that I haven't had the ability to do any road trips. Oh, I'm glad to hear that, Jean. No need to be sorry. It's okay. Nobody's expected to be here. Just if you see I'm here and you want to join, feel free. No pressure. But I am done. I did set my face, and that's the one thing I forgot to say. I set my face with the Fenty Beauty setting spray. I am going to be in the market for a new one. This is very, very fragrant. It's also super fine. So I'm not a huge fan of this. My favorite setting mist was the Morphe setting mist, but I am not supporting that brand. So I'm gonna have to find a new one. I've tried the Urban Decay. This is still practically full. I don't like the spritzer on it after using the Morphe one. And I've done the Too Faced one before too. This is like 3/4 full, a third full. It's like right here. Clearly math is not my best subject. I don't like this one. So I have to find a new one. You're done, used Too Faced. Your bestie got you into the makeup. Yeah, I like the fact that you can do whatever you want, and it's being more accepted to like do really colorful, although I don't play with color a lot, and that's just because I'm not good at color theory or anything like that. I would be the person who is mixing two colors that clash and don't look well together. I've tried to play with like some more bright colors that I typically am comfortable with, like some pinks, some reds. I'm comfortable with those colors. Sometimes I've played with blue a little bit. Getting the Manny MUA Eternal Eclipse palette has kind of made me play a little bit with some more bold colors. That's more of one that I play with off of camera and not so much on camera. I've also shied away from doing as much makeup content as I was before, just because I have so much other stuff that I'm interested in talking about that I haven't fully continued to dive into my makeup stuff. But I'm trying to kind of get back to my roots a little bit and provide some other beauty content that I used to, because I do know some of my subscribers enjoy that content, and I want to still provide that to those who want to see it. Thank you so much, Cheryl. Revelation. Target has it. I haven't been to a Target in a little while, and when I have been out and about in stores like Target, Walmart, I haven't gone down the makeup aisles or the beauty aisles intentionally, because I have plenty of makeup already that I kind of don't always mess with. it's a little bit ridiculous, to be honest, the collection that I already have. So I feel guilty adding to it. I have a whole bag that I need to try and find somewhere I can donate it to from when I went through my makeup and reorganized it, and did like a small declutter. I have a whole like grocery sack full of makeup I need to donate. So I feel bad adding to it because there's still makeup in my collection I haven't played with. So bye, Amber. I'm glad you were able to stop in. You hear some people spend $1,000 a month on makeup. I could not. Now, in a year, I have the Rouge status. I'm likely to lose it this year because I don't think I'm going to be purchasing that amount of makeup this year. But I've maintained my Rouge status, which is $1,000 in a year. And I think I'm barely making that every year. But this year I have not purchased. I think in January I bought a couple of things, but I haven't purchased anything since. And I'm likely not going to. I may get the Glam palette if I can muster up the funds to do so because I really want that palette. But I don't know if I will. Hey, Claire, good to see you. Thank you for the compliment. I mean, if I'm somebody like, I don't know. This is a controversial opinion, but like if you already have a product, even if it's something that you don't want to support anymore, you've already paid your money. Your money has already gone to that person at that point. And like some palettes for these companies and these businesses that are no longer being supported due to current situations are super expensive. I wouldn't encourage anyone to destroy or just throw away a product that you've already paid for. I don't like that. I don't think that that's, you've already spent your money. The commission that whoever it was going to get off of it, they've already received the commission from your purchase. Maybe not promote it. I can maybe see like not promoting it anymore on if you have a platform, but I know that this has been an issue and something that's been brought up before when Jeffree Star was, and Kat Von D, when all of these other brands were being boycotted for good reason. People were just like throwing away their full collections. And I'm like, you've already spent the money. They've already got the money. They already profited off of it. Just use it. If you don't want to support it openly on your channel or on your platform, don't. And in your private time, if you like it, go ahead and use it. You know, I don't know. I think that's an unpopular opinion. Hey, Cheryl. You want the Violet Urban Decay palette. I haven't bought an Urban Decay palette in a long time. The last Urban Decay palette I bought, I actually decluttered, and it was the smoky palette that they came out with. No, that's not true. I bought the Born to Run palette, and I really enjoy that palette. It's one I don't touch very often, but I do really like it. Before that, the one that I bought was the Smoke Sessions one that they have, the smoky one. And I think I used it maybe 2 or 3 times, if even that. Like some of the shadows haven't even been touched. You have trouble decluttering it. Yeah, I've struggled. That was probably one of the first like full declutters of my whole makeup I did. I'll tell her you get it from BoxyCharm. I've never gotten the BoxyCharm subscription box. I did the Ipsy one for about a year, and it did introduce me to new products, but not so much so that I was like really getting a lot of stuff. A lot of it ended up being repeats, like the little Stila eyeliner I used today. That came in an Ipsy bag. Some of my mascaras that I've had before came in an Ipsy bag. I primarily got the Ipsy bag to get a brush because my brush collection was always kind of on the smaller side. So I did it to get a brush, and it did expand my brush collection. And then I started to get similar brushes all the time. So I was like, I'm not really getting anything out of it. So I stopped it, but I enjoyed quite a bit from it. And I know BoxyCharm does like some of the higher end products. I just don't know if right now I'm not going to add to what I have. I'm going to kind of just let my collection, me work through my collection that I already have before I continue to expand it. You love the Naked Reloaded palette. I have so many other palettes that have that same color story. I have a lot of the Anastasia, however you pronounce that. I have a lot of her palettes that her brand's kind of one of my go-to. Her and Natasha Denona have been my go-to brands. So I have a lot of those palettes and those color schemes, especially in the mini Natasha Denonas. A lot of them are neutral shades. So I've tried to be more aware when I'm going to buy palettes to make sure that they're shades I don't already have in other existing palettes. Alrighty, so does anybody have any questions? This was going to be kind of like a Q&A. We kind of got off on a couple of random different topics. So I guess I'll leave the last few minutes to ask if anybody has any questions. And if not, I'm probably going to pop off here. I've got a couple of videos I want to film, and I need to finish uploading and rendering the nail video so that that can go live this afternoon. And I have a video have a weight loss update video to put out for qualifying members. You guys should get that today or tomorrow. You're newer to pricey makeup. I mean, don't let it consume you. I can attest to it consumed me there for a while, to where and this was a few years ago when I was newer to makeup and to beauty YouTube and things like that. And I got wrapped up in like the facade that higher end makeup is better and is better quality. And that's not the case. And oftentimes there's really good, if not better, dupes in the drugstore or at a lower cost in Ulta. There's also indie brands that are going to be about the same price point, and their products are so good. Like the JD Glow Galaxy shadows I have, I only have a few of them, but every time I wear one, whether it's on camera or I'm doing stuff out and about, people always compliment it when I have those shades on. Do I have Natasha Denona cream shadows? No, I don't. I have one. I have this silver one in a mini size. The only like liquid shadows I have 3 Stilas and 1 Natasha Denona. I got rid of all of the other ones that I had. Some were dried out. And I don't remember to grab for cream products as often as I do a palette. I'm much more of a person to grab a palette and make a look out of that palette. Even using like 2 different palettes, I don't often do that. My whole look is going to come from one palette. You splurged on Manny's last palette. Was that the Eclipse palette? Because I have that, and I think that's like one of the only products I've done like a review on. Alrighty, I'm gonna go ahead and head off of here. I'm done. And I could continue talking about the makeup and makeup things all day. Maybe I will try to make this a regular thing again where I occasionally go live and do my makeup and we can talk about makeup. But I am gonna go ahead and head off. I appreciate everybody who's been here and who has spent the time with me this morning while I got ready. It's been nice. I look forward to seeing you guys hopefully in a couple of days. I'm probably going to publish or put it out that on Thursday, I think I'm going to go live for drawing the 3 winners for the 3,000 subscriber giveaway, just so people can maybe plan around that and be prepared if they want to be present for that. But otherwise, I don't know what my lives will be like, but I do have some content coming out for you guys over the next couple of days, so keep an eye out for that. But otherwise, I hope you have a good day, evening, or night, wherever you are, and until next time. Bye, guys.